Right, Shalom. I would like to give all praise and glory to YAHAWADAH, Yahushua. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone, who I learned the truth from, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of the earth, waiting on the return of Yahushua HaMashiach to deliver us out of this last captivity. Now, the topic at hand that has been discussed for the past week is if America is Babylon or not. Okay, because you have this Hebrew Israelite sect. They call themselves Israelites, tried and refined, and they said that Babylon is the Vatican City, which is totally and utterly chaos and confusion, and that's what happens when you have pride and you don't have order. Okay. Now, I heard one of the things they said was yeah, the Pope wears purple, so he wears scarlet, so he has to be. So the Vatican has to be Babylon, just very carnal reasons and stupid reasons to validate, that stupid breakdown. Okay, you even have people who don't even believe in the Bible, but will see that in the Bible and be able to know, okay, that is talking about America. But I'm gonna get the scripture real fast, and I'm gonna use a few scriptures in this lesson, a few scriptures to get straight to the point to prove that America is Babylon. And if you're a Hebrew Israelite, it should resonate with you. I mean, clear as day. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14, just to start it off. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. Okay? So when you read the scriptures a lot of times, the breakdowns are spiritual. You may see a description of something, a description of a color, a description of whatever, but that doesn't mean that it's actually talking about the physical appearance of that. When you go into the certain words and you look up those words, whether they were translated from the Greek or the Hebrew, or they go back to Latin or French or whatever may have you, when you go into the roots of those words, they a lot of times they tend to mean something else. So you can't just read these scriptures and just put a physical viewpoint on them. You have to be spiritually discerned, because the Spirit works in the scriptures. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it off with Psalms, and I'm gonna go to 137. Okay, and it's common sense. I mean, the Bible is a spiritual book. So why not the breakdowns be spiritual? Why wouldn't the breakdowns be spiritual breakdowns? Okay, this is Psalms 137, and I'm gonna start at verse 7, and it reads, Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. This is talking about when in 70 AD, when the Romans sacked Jerusalem, and they basically said, destroy it, because who were the Romans? Edomites. You so-called white people are the biblical Edomites. That's your nationality according to the Bible. Okay, so that we recognize you as Edom. Okay. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So wait a minute, it's talking about Edom being in conjunction with Babylon, but it's calling it the daughter of Babylon. When did Edom and Babylon reign together? Okay. When was Edom referred to as the daughter of Babylon? Okay. That should tell you it's talking about a kingdom that Edom is going to have that resembles Babylon. Okay. And us as Hebrew Israelites, we know that here in America, the Edomites are ruling under the EU and NATO, the European Union. They're ruling America. And even over that, you have the Rothschilds, these elite banking families that own these central banks, that own this debt system. So we know that they are the Edomites and they're ruling America. And now they're being, referred to as the daughter of Babylon. Verse 9, happy shall he be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones. And that's what Israel is going to do in that day when the Lord gives them the power to do so. So you should just think on that. Why is Edom being compared with Babylon? Why is it calling Edom the daughter of Babylon? Which proves that this last Babylon is not talking about the Babylon of Iraq either. you know. So I'm going to go to Revelation chapter 18. Just bear with me while this loads. This is Revelation chapter 18, and I'm going to read verse 23. Now we touched on Edom being compared to as Babylon. You know, even when you look in America, there's a lot of Babylonian gods that America worships. Like the Christmas tree, it goes back to Nimrod, you know, and many other Babylonian gods that America worship. You know, it's a spiritual thing. You have to have the spiritual eye to see it. You have to be blessed with the spirit of YAHAWADAH to be able to differentiate physical from spiritual. Okay, you can't just go off appearance. You know, that's why when we identify the Hebrew Israelites, we don't just go off how they look, because they've been scattered amongst all the nations. So they may look like a different nation, but their spirit resonates with a Hebrew Israelite spirit, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, all right. Now this is Revelation chapter 18, and this is speaking on Babylon. Okay, this is speaking on the destruction of Babylon. Just to give you a understanding, in verse 10 it says, standing afar off for the fearful torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And when you go down here, it reads, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Wait a minute, who's the bride? Who's the bridegroom? It's not the prophets and the elect that's waiting on the return of Yahawadah HaMashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, referred to as the bride, waiting as virgins for their bridegroom. You know, the foolish virgins and the wise virgins, keeping oil in their lamps burning. You know, verse 24. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. Who are the saints? Israel, you know. Who are the prophets? The prophets of Israel. And where do you see the prophets at? Do you see the prophets cursing out the Pope at the Vatican City? Or do you see the prophets here in America on the highways and byways standing boldly for this truth? So that's another signal to point out that this is talking about America, because the prophets are here. Then when you go to the book of Daniel, in Daniel chapter 7, and in the book of Daniel, it prophesies of all the kingdoms that will be until the Lord comes back. And there's one final kingdom that's ruling after the Roman Empire. So what kingdom is that? If there was another kingdom, you know, after that iron, you know, matter of fact, let me just go to that real quick, because Daniel prophesied all the kingdoms that were ruled before the kingdom of heaven would be established, which proves we know that the children of Israel is in this last kingdom, because they were in all the other kingdoms that were prophesied in this prophecy. Okay, so let me go to this prophecy that the Lord gave to Daniel about the kingdoms that will rule. Okay, and I'm gonna start at the Roman Empire. Okay, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. And let's talk about the Roman Empire. The one you call Jesus, he came during when Israel was in captivity under who? The Roman Empire. You know, the 12 Caesars of Rome that set up the Herod dynasty over Israel. Okay, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of the potter's clay, and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. You know, because this statue is actually a statue that Daniel had seen, you know, and just to go up, the legs were actually iron, you know, just to get verse 33, it says his legs. You know, matter of fact, let me just start at 31, just to give edification and insight for those who don't know. Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. The image head was of fine gold, as Babylon, the first Babylon. His breasts and his arms of silver. That's the Medo-Persian Empire, okay? His belly and his thighs of brass. That's talking about the Greek Okay, that's talking about the Greek Empire. His legs of iron, that's talking about the Roman Empire. His feet, part of iron and part of clay, that's talking about America under EU and NATO, the European Union. And that's where we are right now. And if America was under all those, I mean, if the Israelites were under all those previous kingdoms, wouldn't they be in the last kingdom? Are the Israelites in captivity under the Vatican? Or has the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans been under captivity under America for hundreds of years? Who fits that prophecy? So this is to continue. But there shall be in the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Because also America is an extension of Rome, the Roman Empire. That's why you see a lot of Roman infrastructure. Just like Rome had Caesars, America has presidents, you know. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, meaning the kingdom of heaven is not for heathen nations, it's only for the Hebrew Israelites, which going back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that covenant, it never was changed, it never was altered. It was only fulfilled with Yahawadah being the ultimate sacrifice for Israel. He said, it shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, for it shall stand forever. And that's the kingdom of heaven, coming after all these other kingdoms, man. You know? So you can't get around that, man. So let's go back. Let's go back to Revelation chapter 18, man. You know? So you gotta be taught by people who have understanding, man. Not nobody that just want to make a name for themselves by trying to get a new breakdown, you know. Oh, look what I know, look what I know, you know. So back in Revelation 18, chapter 24, it reads, and in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. You know, that's talking about the Israelites. The Israelites were slain over here in America, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Billions of them, you know. Billions of them, you know. And just to prove who the saints are, because you have Christians say, well, everyone who believes are saints. We know that, you know. Just to prove that to be wrong, you know. Let me see. This is Psalms 148, verse 14. He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel. A people near unto him, praise ye the Lord. So the children of Israel are the saints, okay? So let's go back to Revelation chapter 18 once again. So the prophets, you always had Israelite prophets, and the saints were always Israelites. So that lets us know that it's talking about America, man. It's not talking about no Vatican City, man. And this is just straight to the point facts, man, through the scriptures, okay? Not even trying to make it deep for people, okay? This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And we're going to go up in verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Who is his people? He just said his people are Israel in Psalms 148. That ye be not partakers of her sins. What's her sins? Homosexuality. Teaches women that they're equal to men, which leads to adultery. You know, all type of transvestites here. They tell you can eat abominable foods, you know. All type of madness over here in America, you know. And most importantly, what they did to the children of Israel. And that ye receive not of her plagues, you know. But the key I wanted to bring out, he said, come out of her, my people. Once again, I tell you, is his people in captivity under the Vatican City? No, they're in the captivity of America, under the EU and NATO, under these Rothschilds, man. Okay? Period. Now, I'm gonna end it off on this last scripture, man. You know? It doesn't take much to prove that America is Babylon, man. But when you try to go too deep and try to be Mr. Know-it-all, you know, then you make yourself look like a fool, man. You know, just continuing the things thou hast learned. Period. This is Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 14. Now remember, we read earlier in Psalm chapter 137 that Edom was called the daughter of Babylon. That's that mystery Babylon, right? So let's This is Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 12. Thus saith the Lord power, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, going on the west coast of Africa, putting them on them ships and bringing them over here to America, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon him. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and will make it desolate from Teman, and they of the Don shall fall by the sword. Here's the point. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they should do in Edom according to my anger and according to my fury, and they should know my vengeance, saith the Lord power. Period. So Edom, the daughter of Babylon, you so-called white people, you're going to be dealt with by the Lord, and he's going to use his people Israel to do it. Because you are Babylon, you are Rome, you are Egypt, you are all those wicked kingdoms embodied in one, With that, I hope the elect was edified, and I'm going to say shalom.